Paris is a lot of fun, but it's easy to make expensive mistakes if you're not careful. So in this video, we're gonna share with you 12 ways people waste money when they're in Paris. And we're not doing this alone. We've asked our private community and our Facebook group with over 300,000 members to share ways that they wasted money in Paris, and then we'll share our thoughts. Allez, on y va. All right, so Tina says, wish we wouldn't have bought the week Metro Pass. Other than the trip from the airport and one to and from Disney, we walked everywhere. You know, it's funny because I've created videos about, you should buy the Metro Pass because it's the better deal, but I totally get it. Like, unless you're gonna be using the Metro at least a couple of times a day, or probably 2 to 3 times a day, it's not a good deal. Paris is a very walkable city, and what happens is people realize that they can walk from one point to the other without taking the Metro. So the Metro Pass, unless you're gonna be using it a lot, is probably a waste of money.
Here's one from Diana. I bought the Paris Pass and didn't find it a good value versus paying a la carte. Perhaps if we were the type of traveler who had a full itinerary of museums, it would have been better. I agree. We tried the Paris Pass with 2 and 3 museums a day. It was exhausting, but if you're the kind of person who does that sort of thing, the value is there. If you're not, a la carte is gonna be the way to go.
The next one is about the audio tours in the museum, and we've got quite a few of those. Eileen said the headset tours at the Louvre were a waste of money. Sarah said the Versailles audio tour, it's only a few bucks, but the device was terrible. And then Karen said the audio tour at the Pantheon. I think you're getting the trend here. The audio tours in the museums in Paris often suck. I've seen Colleen getting it, and the thing is supposedly in English, and it's not really, and it's difficult to track, and it doesn't know which room you are. Most often, it's a waste of money. If you're gonna invest some money, get actually a real guide to show you around, but the audio guides are not good.
This one's from Kelly. We took a bike catamaran ride for less than a mile on our first day in Paris, and they charged us 35 euros. And Betsy says, pedicab, easy to get ripped off. Now, I'm betting that both of them are talking about those little tuk-tuk rides that people come up and offer you all the time around the big attractions. And yes, they're so easy to get ripped off. Like, I get it. Walking around Paris, your feet hurt because you've done 20,000 steps, but there's so many better ways to get around. Call a cab, call an Uber, sit in a cafe and rest, but those tuk-tuks, just a waste of money. By the way, we put together a free download cheat sheet so you can find ways to not waste money in Paris. There's a link in the description below, or scan the QR code.
This one is from Judy. My most wasted money was Madame Brasserie at the Eiffel Tower, both the experience and the dinner. And Christine Bliss said, Jules Verne was nice, but not worth the money for me. I kind of have to agree. Those restaurants, I think that about half of what you're paying is for the location. Jules Verne has a great reputation of being an extraordinary restaurant. I believe it's a 1 macaron Michelin, so you're gonna get great food, but you are paying quite a hefty price for being on the Eiffel Tower. And I think that for a lot of people, it's gonna be a waste of money. Go up the Eiffel Tower and save your money for a nice restaurant that is not as much as a tourist trap as these two on the Eiffel Tower.
This one's from Melanie. The chai latte at Angelinas in the Louvre cost a fortune, and I couldn't even drink it. It was pure cinnamon. This is a personal pet peeve of mine because I've heard for years you have to go to Angelina. Like, this is Coco Chanel and all of the famous stuff from the tea salon way back when. We tried it. The hot chocolate was okay. Nothing special. The white hot chocolate was so bad I couldn't drink it, and it's old dated decor. It's squished like cattle call. For me, it was an outdated time where people are trying to relive it. Sorry if that's your thing. Sorry if it's on your bucket list. But for me, Angelinas is a total waste of time and a total waste of money.
Now, Carrie says, I feel like Versailles was a waste of money. It's so crowded, it's hard to enjoy it. And I have to agree with Carrie. We are actually annual pass members for Versailles, but we avoid Versailles like the plague during tourist season for this exact reason. It's so crowded. There's no air conditioning, of course. It's a 300-year-old palace. It is just not enjoyable unless you're there in off season. And for a lot of people, I'm afraid that it's going to be a waste of money and time to go to Versailles in high season. And there are alternate beautiful castles like Fontainebleau, Volvic, and Chantilly that have hardly anybody there in season, and you're gonna get the castle experience. It's not Versailles, but it's still very beautiful.
Here's one from Gregorio. Taking one of those hop-on, hop-off buses. They cost well over $70 now, and line 69 of the Paris bus system covers almost all of the same stuff for €2. You know, if you're getting on a hop-on, hop-off bus, you're gonna have to know that you are gonna be in the right spot, find the locations and everything. There's a lot that goes with it. And $70 is a lot because there's so much you can see. We did one on the bateau bus, which is the boat hop-on, hop-off, which kind of combines the little river cruise with the hop-on, hop-off. But the big buses, I tend to agree, the hop-on, hop-off bus is not my go-to. I think it's a waste of money.
Another way that people waste money in Paris is by choosing unreliable tour operators. So we've put together a list of our favorite tour guides in Paris. There's a link in the description below, or you can scan this QR code and get to a list of people that we trust and recommend. Check it out and see if it's a good fit for you. Next one is from Cara. €11 glass of lemonade for the kids at lunch. We should have looked at the menu when the kids ordered it, but we were quite shocked when the kids' drink receipt was €55 for bottled lemonade. And Catherine said we ordered bottled water and sparkling water at restaurants the first few days. Drinks really added up at our party when we were dining out. So here's the thing. Lemonade is going to be very expensive in Paris. You're thinking if you're coming from the US, oh, I'm getting lemonade for the kids, it's going to be cheap. Not in France. It's actually pressed lemon juice, so it's actually a very expensive thing. Cocktails are very expensive in Paris. Bottled water can add up because you can get a carafe of water, which is free. So before you order stuff, assuming it's going to be cheap, especially if it's for the kids, look on the menu first so you don't get a nasty surprise. And sometimes you're going to feel like you're wasting money on drinks. Like if you had known, you would have never done that.
Here's one from Pamela. Colleen, the only thing I would do differently is to share more meals if I had a traveling companion. I did typically take my leftovers back to my Airbnb. You know, a lot of people worry about sharing meals in Paris. And I know it used to be a big thing, but today they're catching up with the rest of the world. We share meals in Paris, and you can share meals in Paris. If you don't want to eat that much, don't. And one of the things we often do is with the formule meals, we'll get 2 formules where we'll share an appetizer, share a dessert, and we both get a main, or you know, you can do it however you want. But this is someplace that you can save money because you don't have to spend more on food than you want.
The next one is from Kay. The neck pillow cushion I bought at Montreal airport. Don't know why I thought I needed one. I used it perhaps 1 minute and then had to carry it. I couldn't agree more. I never understand why people are buying their travel gear in an airport. It's 2 to 3 times more expensive than you would buy it online. And most of this stuff is not really good. I'm gonna put a link in the description below to our travel gear. You can buy any of the stuff that we recommend because it has been tested by us, and it's going to be about a fraction of the cost of what you would pay in an airport. Don't waste your money in gadgets in the airport. They're overpriced and crap.
The next one is from Linda. Eating breakfast at the hotel is a big waste. Always go to a bakery or even a cafe. And Carol says, buffet breakfast at the hotel in 7 days, we only went once. It was a waste of money, lesson learned. Some hotels have good breakfast and some have regular, ordinary breakfast that you might as well just go to a boulangerie because the boulangeries have amazing stuff. Cafes have amazing stuff. But the deal with wasting money in a hotel breakfast is that if you book your hotel including the meal, you're locked in. And you don't want to be locked in every day. If you go to the hotel and you decide you want to eat breakfast there, they will sell you breakfast for today. You can do it however you want, but if you lock it in when you book the hotel, you're wasting money. If you got value out of this video, please click the subscribe and like button. And next, I would watch this video about how to avoid getting robbed by pickpockets.